What's up, guys? Welcome to the No Drinks in the Booth podcast with myself, Chris Watson, Pavan and Wade here. How are we doing today, guys?
We're back, episode 6.
Another classic.
Another classic in the making.
Every
right
episode
now.
is a classic to me. That's how I'm going to introduce them. Another classic.
Everyone unforgettable. So obviously it's my turn to host this week, and I have gone for the topic: forget UK and US music. Asian music is the future.
Yeah. We take it over.
More specifically. Well, we were discussing this before the start of the podcast. More specifically, obviously, acts like Blackpink, BTS, Higher Brothers, some of these acts that are coming out of China and Southeast Asia. Obviously, there's a lot to cover in all genres of music. But we're kind of going to look at these artists and some of the stuff that is taking over YouTube, especially nowadays, and just generally the internet. It's coming over to the Western world of pop, and it's exciting. So that's what we're going to be talking about later on. But obviously we've got the news coming up as normal with Wade, but I don't know if you want to say anything else before we get into it, guys. Anyone done anything exciting this week? Anyone been up to anything crazy in these more relaxed lockdown times?
Nah, I've just been sitting on my arse, to be fair. Can't lie. Played a bit of football. I made a fence.
I was going to... Yeah.
My fence has been completed, so now that's done. So I don't have to pick up a hammer again for another 3 years.
The fence has been completed, and so you're on time for every podcast now. That's the great
people
thing.
In glass houses. Look at the kettle calling the pot black.
Admittedly, oh come on. Admittedly, I was late for the first one or second one. I can't remember.
And the first 6 Zoom calls where we were going to talk about the pod. I distinctly remember the first one.
Oh, come on.
I distinctly remember when we were like, oh, yeah, let's sit down before the first pod and let's have a nice big chat. You were like, yeah, let's do I can only do like 10 past 4.
10 minutes.
I can only do 10 past 4, so let's do 10 past 4. And we were like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. And we sat there and you went, actually, my mum's just made a roast. So can we reschedule to 8 o'clock? And everyone's cleared their diaries for you.
I can't remember this. Everyone listening, don't listen to it.
No,
I'm strictly professional and always on time.
I would like to point out quickly, during that whole saga of Chris's eating a roast so we can't discuss the podcast, when we actually did get on the Zoom call, I was sat eating my dinner while we did the Zoom call, because I was like, we need to just get this done.
Yeah.
So
some of us have got priorities.
I should take a leaf out of your book.
That's commitment.
Eating and Zooming. That's the ultimate combination.
Hang on, what was we doing? What was we all doing just before this podcast started?
We were all munching biscuits.
Eating and Zooming, yeah.
I've got another pack of these biscuits just there looking at me, but I'm not going to have them now because
you will.
Podcast to do.
These podcasts are long. Trust me, you'll need a snack.
But I think we've done well. I mean, last week actually it was around 2 hours, but I think we get into it. I think 2 hour max. I think we're kind of max. between an hour and a half.
We physically
and 2 hours.
Don't have more than 2 hours today.
Yeah. Literally,
today, that is also true.
Yeah, that's
very also true for today.
Do you want to know what I've been up to quickly?
Go on.
Really interesting. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to do because my life revolves around DJing.
There's not a lot of that happening.
None of us
streamed. You've not been watching the NBA?
Yeah, that's pretty much my life.
I've not watched any of it, so
playoffs.
I don't know what's going on at the moment. So I don't know if...
Do you want me to give you a quick recap?
Do you want to give us a quick rundown? Because that's actually something that's happened.
I'll just eat my biscuits while you do this.
Yeah, cool. Okay, the Celtics swept the 76ers. That's just happened. The Raptors swept the Brooklyn Nets. The series is tied 2-2 with Dallas and the LA Clippers. That was last night. What else happened? There's
what's happening with...
and Portland, I think, are 2-2.
What's happening with my team?
Milwaukee.
I can't. Are we doing absolute dog shit? Because I've not watched it.
No, you're doing it. You went down 0-1.
We're 2-1 up.
1-1.
We're 2-1 up.
Oh, I'm having that. I've not been watching Milwaukee.
I'm having that. Well, we're on today at 6:30, so let's hope we can get this done so we can watch the game.
That's Wade's NBA recap. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. I'll be on some more NBA podcasts later in the year.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I won't.
I was about to say, you've been something you've not been telling us.
Yeah.
You're going to get on an
Well,
NBA
if-
podcast.
I'm
Is that
just-
next? Well,
I'm
we're
just-
we're just a stepping stone.
I mean,
He'll be off.
we just,
He'll be off in a few months.
I'm just
Oh,
saying, if I get the
basketball.
phone call to get on the NBA podcast, one, there's good money, and two, I'm laughing. So
Actually,
Who
might have a
needs
friend
DJ
that
then?
could do that. So I'll message you after.
really,
I'll speak to you
Oh
later.
my
I'll speak
God,
to you later. I'll
Pav.
speak to you later. we'll hold that. We'll hold that for when
let me
Chris
just write
fucks
this
off.
down on my notes.
Pav becoming ultimate legend.
Pav, just quickly,
Yeah.
just before we start, I just have to ask about your T-shirt. Is that a football?
It's an LA
no,
Galaxy one.
LA
Oh,
Galaxy.
mate, look at this. All these fucking NBA.
Oh,
it
no,
says
no,
LA
I know,
on the
sorry.
team. It's
Oh.
LAFC. It's the other LA-based team, and the only reason why I bought it is because
The shitter one.
because it has YouTube TV as the
YouTube.
that's
Oh,
their
that
sponsor.
was why I was asking
No,
about
but so,
the
so where I was
YouTube
when I went
thing.
to LA last year, that was like the local. Like LA Galaxy isn't the local team in that area because I was like downtown,
Yeah.
and we like going past the stadium all the time. And then I clocked that YouTube sponsors their kit, and I was like, "Yep, buying this." And then I also found out that I needed to, like, there's this cap shop called Lids, which is like legendary.
Oh,
It's a Lids
Yep.
custom. I won't turn around and show you my initials because that's fucking gay. But like, well, you know what I mean. We're not having that. You know what I meant,
Cav was
guys.
just like, oh,
I'm not
I didn't mean it in a
homophobic.
bad way. Yeah, I knew where this was going.
Yeah.
After last week's,
sake.
Pav, how long do you reckon before you end your own career through this podcast?
All these podcasts now is just us apologising
I mean,
for Pav
it's-
what he says. That's all it is.
It's
That's all we
not
do now.
started, and that's probably why. You guys know what
Why
I
has
meant.
it started?
Um,
I know, we know what you
yeah,
meant.
and I'm
It's
just letting
okay,
the
but-
general public know before they try and cancel us in 6 years when we're the biggest music podcast.
They'll be cancelling you, mate. Me and Chris are still going in.
I love it.
We'll have to put out a joint statement.
I love it. But yeah, like I needed to buy one more cap, and I was like, oh, I might as well buy the LA one because that'll work. So yeah, so I got the full kit going on. You guys can't see I've actually got the shorts and socks on as well.
No.
No, I'm joking.
Are we doing a rundown of?
That would be
I was saying,
horrible.
are we doing a rundown of what we wear during the podcast?
Yeah.
Just black tees, really. I think that's all I've got in my wardrobe.
I don't think
My
I've ever
wardrobe's
seen
just
you not wear a black tee,
tees.
mate.
It's just my standard look. Sometimes I like, splash out and go for a necklace, but that's a rare occasion.
That's just
Like,
like when,
normally it's
when,
just
you, when you're
straight
trying to
black
look
tee.
fly and that.
Oh yeah, a little bit fly. Got to go for those extra garments. You know what I mean? But
Extra
yeah,
garments.
black tea standard. But yeah, all right then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wade, I hear you've got some news for us as
news.
always.
You don't care what I'm wearing. Cheers, Chris. Nice one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Right, Wade. What are you wearing today?
Nothing, mate. You can just see a t-shirt. I've got
Is it
nothing else
is it a
on.
metallic? Sorry, I'm just
No,
trying to
basically-
on the. Is it a Metallica t-shirt?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
what
thanks.
what
Metallica.
what
Oh,
Wade
that's
is saying is that from the waist below, he's a free soul.
yeah. I'm glad Pav is the only one that got it. Chris is like, was that a Metallica
Yeah.
t-shirt?
Yeah, we were
No,
To be honest,
I'm-
Pat, so far we've actually never seen Wade's bottom half on these Zoom calls.
Whoa!
So who actually?
Whoa!
who actually
Sorry, I mean
Hang on.
Who actually knows what?
that's
he's
because
doing?
Hang on,
that's
Chris,
because he
maybe
charges
nothing.
59p a minute for that stuff normally.
yeah.
He's got
Mate,
a special. He's got a special URL for that. Onlyfans.com.
I was going to say, I was going to say, Wade could do his OnlyFans. We don't
Yeah.
see any of each other's bottom because it's a head-up camera, so it's not just me.
I mean,
this is
What-
this podcast.
what has
is
happened?
taking a
Proper
proper
turn.
turn.
What has happened to no drinks in the booth? We used to be like have integrity and talk about music and stuff. Now we
Nah,
just talk
we
about
never
each
really
other
did.
naked.
just talking about our
Wait, you-
poor fashion
wait.
choices because all three of us are in black tees.
Yeah,
Good point. Good point.
but it's a DJ podcast. We'd be nothing if we weren't wearing the
Black
standard
tees,
DJ
classic,
black tee.
mate. I've
Come
got
on.
at least 10.
It's
I've
classic
got at
DJ
least
wear.
10.
Yeah, of course. Oh, minimum, mate. Minimum. Big shouts to ASOS.
Right, let's talk about some music, Wade.
Please sponsor us. Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to start with the news.
Yes.
because Otherwise, we'll be here talking about how many black t-shirts Chris has.
Let
from
me get the
ASOS.
wardrobe out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to point out. this
Hold
week-
on. Sorry. I can't let this one slip. Did you say ASOS intentionally? Or was
Oh
that
no,
a
I
slip
say
up?
ASOS
Is
as
this-
well, mate.
Is, this,
Leave it out.
is it ASOS or is it ASOS? Is it like Adidas or Adidas? It's one of these ones.
It's
Right.
an acronym. ASOS actually stands for something, but I can't remember what it does. But
As it means as seen on
the
screen,
one.
and Adidas is pronounced Adidas, and Nike is pronounced
God.
Nike. And now we're going to move on to the news.
Okay.
and we are no drinks in the booth, guys. Here's the
Thank
news.
God Wade's here. Thank God Wade's here. Right,
Yeah.
come on.
What are you telling me? Come on, shut up. Let me get on. Okay, right. First segment of this week's news. Because we obviously we do really important news, like proper hard hitting music news, and just some tabloid type shit. The first one is Meg Thee Stallion confirmed on, I think it was an Instagram live, that Tory Lanez was the person that shot her in both her feet, or one of her feet. I'm not too sure, but shot her in the foot. Regardless, thoughts on Tory Lanez making quarantine and in cancelling himself by shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot?
I mean, it is mad.
Crazy.
It is just mad. Like,
Sorry, to clarify, apparently he shot her in the foot because she was going to leave him or was leaving him. But how true that is, you don't know. But
yeah, you know what
still
the
bad.
worst thing is? Obviously, so Tory had quarantine. Like, the only person that had a bigger quarantine than Tory Lanez was coronavirus. Like, literally, it was that. Like, and then I listened to loads of interviews because, like, his album came out, and I was like, yo. Because I wasn't a huge Tory fan, but I've been growing and growing. And I was like, yo, this guy is sick. Like, he's like the wokest guy I've ever heard, like, speak ever. And then, like, he just ruined every single little piece of work he did.
apparently he's like 5 foot as well. So even I'm taller.
Is
than
he?
him. No, like apparently he's like really small. I can't talk, so I'm like.
That's why she was
5'5",
leaving him.
but-
She was like, oh, I thought you said 6 foot only and all that.
Well, look, I just you know,
Me and Chris are all
violence
right.
against women. Violence against women shouldn't be condoned. In
I mean,
any form,
violence
whether you're a
against
celebrity or
any
not.
people, but yeah.
Well, yeah. The fact that he shot, like, it's confirmed that he was the one that shot her, and apparently he was getting his PR people to go to like all the blogs.
Oh, bro, it's just like so many facets
Like,
to this story. It's unreal.
It sounds silly. It's like typical sort of like LA music industry type stuff.
I get what you mean. It's like
mental.
you're surprised that it was him, but you're not surprised that it happened.
Yeah, and like when she was saying about his PR and his media people going to like the blogs and all this shit, and you're like,
Can you imagine Tory Lanez?
LA if you try.
Tory Lanez just knocking on the door of TMZ. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Knocking on the door. He's 5 foot. He was knocking on the bottom.
Went in through the cat flap.
Yeah, I went in through the cat flap. Doggy door.
Oh shit!
Chris, thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously those Instagram live streams were so funny in lockdown, and now he's
He
basically
killed
just
it.
ruined himself. I mean, it's quite sad to be honest, because he literally absolutely smashed the whole streaming thing.
Yeah.
And then crazy. Just shows you, like, if you're not together, like behind the scenes, like it can backfire, and then it
is just
he's
mad.
done, isn't he?
In
Really?
fairness,
He's
though,
done.
she has got the biggest song right now in the world, so it's kind of helped her a little bit. I don't want to say like, if someone said to me, "You can have a #1 single, but we're gonna have to shoot you in the foot," I reckon I'd probably take it. But
Wow.
But she was already signed, and I'm not, so I suppose there's different stakes here.
Yeah. Do we think this will like be sort of the detriment in Tory Lanez's career? I don't think
Yeah,
it will.
I think cancel culture stopped. I think people have stopped caring.
Yeah, because a little
Like,
bit.
There's so, like, I think because cancel culture went a bit too far at one point.
Yeah, and I think it's with someone like Tory Lanez, like, I don't know. I mean, if you, it's his kind of vibe.
Do you think he went independent at exactly the wrong time?
Put it this way. If I mean that might, I mean, it's not going to be easy for him, but I think if Gary Barlow shot someone in the foot, it would be a different story. But it's just the fact that Tory Lanez, like,
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Gary Barlow hasn't got a
particularly
face tattoo.
surprised.
True. Okay. Well,
Sorry,
That's the thing, innit?
how have we gone from under no circumstance has anyone ever, this is a world first, compared Tory Lanez to Gary Barlow.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's why I don't think it's going to be as bad long term for Tory Lanez.
It would help.
I don't think.
Like, 'cause
I don't think it's going to help.
Tory's got street cred already. I think Gary Barlow needs some. Face tattoo for Gary Barlow. Let's start the petition.
I don't think Gary Barlow needs street cred, to be
He's
honest.
counting them racks.
Legendary. I don't think it's going to help Tory Lanez's career, especially since he's just gone independent.
Yeah, he's
and-
literally onto
yeah.
a loser already. Like, all those like iHeart million radio stations are going to be like, oh, we're not quite sure now.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it'll end his career, but it won't help his career.
Nah.
But who knows? We can only watch and see what happens. Okay, moving on. Keeping it classy with the next story, because this one's classy as it gets. Okay,
God.
IG model Eliza, and her IG handle for anyone that wants to look is
Wait, let me just search it.
JIG. Yeah,
Just taken straight out of Wade's bookmarks.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
I was wondering why we were following her and no drinks in the booth.
Right. Do you want the news story or not?
Sorry, Wade. Sorry, we'll start.
Because this one is a proper good tabloid one. Like, this is like the cream of the crop when it comes.
I mean,
to
don't say
like,
cream.
Well, trust me. Let me tell you. So, IG model Eliza was on the No Jumper podcast with Adam22. With I can't remember her name, Selena Powell from I think Love and Hip Hop, and that's how she got on the podcast, the No Jumper podcast, and they were talking about the stuff they talk on No Jumper, and she was saying how her and Trey Songz had
Fornicated,
basically fucked.
Okay, I was going to say nicer, but all right, yeah, let's go with that.
And apparently Trey Songz is an absolute animal, yeah, and then claims that Trey Songz told her to get in the bath and pissed on her.
Wow.
Trey Songz actually at this podcast, obviously.
I suppose he couldn't help.
Literally just before, before he was recording
Trey
it,
couldn't help but wait. That's my one joke. I'll see you guys next week.
Just before this, just as we start recording the podcast, Trey Songz put out like a statement about this. So I'm not going to read you the statement because it's very, very long, but you should definitely check his Twitter to read more about it. What do we think about stuff like this? Like, not necessarily this actual story, but the fact that people sort of, girls, boys, whoever, will come out, talk about an artist, and that means that is completely true. Because Trey Songz could be like, that's never happened.
Well, how many girls has Drake got pregnant in the last 10 years? At this rate, if every allegation was true, he'd be like, he's full like combine harvester spreading his seed, mate.
I would like to point out, if anyone is really interested in this story, because it is absolutely mental, to check out the No Jumper podcast and Adam22's Twitter, because there's loads of clips and you can watch it. She also talks about how she basically gave a blowjob to 7 of the Phoenix Suns players, one after each other, in like a circle.
Oh, wow. Ring of fire.
My mum must be proud.
Well, she lost her job. Apparently, she lost her job and her parents have kicked her out. But she also made like $22,000 in like an hour on her OnlyFans.
Oh, wow.
Which is fucking mental.
Hope she pays the tax on that first.
She's American. Who cares? Ain't our issue.
I mean, it's an OnlyFans issue, to be fair. They're about to get done, aren't they? We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure we did.
Yeah. Thanks, OnlyFans. Yeah. But what's everyone's thoughts on the whole... This story's getting so wrong. What's everyone's thoughts on... people claiming an artist will do X, Y, Z, like get them pregnant or, piss on them. And then people just assume that's true. It
is just mad. Like I'm struggling for words because I didn't really know anything before this, and so
this is why I tell you both to have a look at the news before we record, because I can tell you're both speechless. But I've watched all the clips.
Oh, wow.
Trust me, this is bouncing off of me.
Don't say say that again, Wade. Please.
Not the clip of Trey Songz pissing on her. The clip of her talking about it.
Well, she's saying this, she's saying that. There's no actual proof other than what she's saying. So it could be true, it could not be true.
If there's a clip, then it could be true.
Who knows?
No, the clip I watched was
weird
her talking.
Story, though.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the clip of it.
Yeah, there was.
I thought it was the R. Kelly thing.
Clip of her talking.
The clip of her talking about the situation.
Okay. Yeah. So just.
I mean, the thing is, I know you've just said, "Oh, you should have read it before," and I kind of did, but I don't think reading this would have made any difference to my life and my reaction on that. Because, it's that kind of stuff, especially obviously basketball players, football players, all kind of the same thing, really. They're all mega rich superstars. You sort of expect it, not in a bad way, but.
I don't think anyone expects that.
I mean, I'm sure they did, but do you know what I mean? It's the kind of fucked up shit that I just would expect.
I'd like to point out, this was 7 of the Phoenix Suns basketball team, in a row, one after each other.
I gathered that much.
There's crazy parties and then there's crazy parties.
That's some fucked up shit. We won't have that's definitely not had a no drinks in the booth Christmas party we'll go.
Well, that's just because it's going to be us 3. We have to invite 4 more people, mate.
just us 3 with like 3 tinnies.
It's gonna be sat like So, Phoenix Suns. Did you guys do that? Do you want to Foster's, mate?
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
Just eating like marshmallows.
I love the fact that we have some really like hard hitting stories, and then we have,
you know
like,
what? Honestly, we've been talking like really, really intellectually the last few weeks, and then like Chris, then Wade was like, no, more blowjobs.
Yeah,
trust me.
I think this must be the trashiest story you've reported on so far, Wade. This one.
I've reported on. You make it sound like I'm a
It just reminds me of
ITV.
of that.
Wade, you are the No Drinks in the Booth news correspondent. You are.
Yeah, true.
That is
You're like
I just thought
that guy from.
I just thought
you're basically the Krishnan Guru Murthy of this group.
Yeah, basically. I just thought we'd had a bit of.
I think Chris is still trying to work out who he is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, to be honest.
The Indian guy on Channel 4.
Google him.
Oh, okay.
The one in the glasses. It's just him.
You
know my man.
Big
up Chris.
I basically think it don't hurt to have a trashy story every now and again, but we're going to move on from the trashiness.
Yeah.
Okay, Versus, we keep up to date with it. Well, we sort of keep up to date with it.
We kind of watch it.
Yeah, we do. The latest Versus is Brandy versus, huge R&B stars, Brandy versus Monica. Thoughts?
Mad. That's a...
This news is going kind of the same. Wade basically says something, and then me or Chris like pop in first and just say "mad" first.
Says mad.
it's like default reaction at the moment. I think it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't say not a huge fan. I've not listened to too much of their music, so I can't be like, I'm really looking forward to this song. But I think this is like the perfect thing about Versus, because I know both artists, but I've not really listened to their music. But I'm 100% now, when we're finished, gonna literally go. I'm gonna go through their Spotify, like the This Is Brandy or whatever. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. Like I'm gonna listen to a good 15, 20 tracks, and then if I like them, like when she comes to England, I'll probably go. Like it's exactly what Versus was made for, I think.
I'll be honest with you.
Brandy and Monica can probably just talk about for at least half an hour how many times they've both been sampled in electronic dance music records. I mean, I'd probably get a good half an hour worth of content out of that.
Yeah, I bet they get or hopefully get the royalties. I'm really like, I love this. Like Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine. What a classic R&B track. That's going to be mental when they play that and sing that. They've both got extensive back catalogues. Which I'm more of a fan of Brandy than Monica. Shout out to Brandy, who also played Moesha in Moesha. You don't know Moesha, do you?
We're like 22, so
it was basically nice.
Oh wait, don't be like that. Come on.
I'll give you background. I'll give you some background. Brandy was in a teen kids program called Moesha, where she played Moesha. It was basically like Hannah Montana, but she didn't sing in it. And her brother was in it as well. It was a really good program. It was on Nickelodeon, and that helped launch her singing.
Oh, that's
career.
mad.
Nice.
Also, just while we're talking about TV shows, you heard that they're re-upping Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that. Even though Will Smith's involved, I'm like, apparently it's going to be like this, like deep show.
Gritty.
And I'm like, the
whole
leave it alone.
I was excited until I read the word gritty. I mean, that is everything that Fresh Prince is not known for.
The new
so
Fresh Prince for me is
there.
basically going to be like that Dimitri Vegas "Say My Name" tune, where it's like, why didn't you just leave the classic alone? Pretty much.
True that.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a bona fide classic, and you can watch it on, I think, Netflix.
Yeah, I think everything's there. Like the whole every season.
Yeah, every season. Okay, let's keep going. This news story is more like close to home. It's not as far away as the No Jumper one, or the Brandy and Monica one, or Meg Thee Stallion. It's about Chris. Chris has got a new
What's up?
series called the White Label series, and you dropped your latest remix. Would you call it a remix?
Yeah, it's a remix. It's a remix.
Your latest remix of Joel Corey and MNEK's Head and Heart, and you've got some very, very cool gifs that are on
which you need to
Instagram.
teach us how to do.
Yeah.
So I can do the no drinks in the booth ones.
Yeah. We need some of those as well. You can do it really easy.
I
actually.
saw someone else do it. To be fair,
paid a
It's
guy.
just, you did it, and I was
yeah.
like, oh shit, we should have done this before he did.
Chris, tell us about your series.
Yeah. Well, the white label is obviously a white label. Still is. I don't know if I'm sure there's still white labels going around, but in the height of the vinyl era, it was white labels were used to send tracks to DJs, radio stations before they've been released.
It's essentially
they were
just a pre-release print, so that the DJs get them first and start playing them, because that's how songs used to have to get popular.
Yeah, or they were used for that, and they were also used to to send out tracks, to get tracks round to DJs and radios. Not really radios, but obviously DJs that were not legitimately released tracks.
Yeah.
They were pressed.
And then the other good one for the white label is
they weren't cleared. They were like things like mashups or remixes and things like that. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I've called it the white label series, kind of as a homage to that whole kind of movement, but also it's just obviously going to be a series of remixes of popular tracks that are going to be kind of, obviously it's all digital, but kind of white labels. So remixes of popular tracks in the kind of house and electronic world, starting with Head and Heart, Joel Corey. So
tune.
Yeah, go cop that.
Yeah, really good. Where can you find it, Chris?
It's on, you can listen to it on YouTube and SoundCloud, and you can get a cheeky download off SoundCloud. I know it's a bit cheeky doing downloads of remixes.
Is it?
But
everyone does it.
It's well, it's not. Technically, it's not. I mean, it's the song's detected, and it's like he gets Joel Corey and his label. I can't remember what label it's the track signed to. They'll do okay. They'll get like he was
number one, so I'm sure he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah. So it gets detected on these platforms, so he'll get some revenue. But for the time being, I've just got to download up. So any DJs that want to download that edit for your housey gigs, go.
I think the best thing we can do is put a.
We'll put a link in. We'll put a link. Yeah, Chris, we'll give you a link, mate. You can have. You can
thanks,
have a link.
guys. Thanks for giving me a link.
No,
have a link.
Thanks
Chris.
for a link.
I will swap you one link for one GIF.
Okay, done.
But just
a quick question.
Go on, Wade.
Chris, what's the next remix?
I'm thinking Starry Night, Peggy Goo.
Oh, yeah. If you do that, send that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Just a little side one. Just while we're talking a little bit about remixes. Are you guys a little bit surprised? Obviously, the two big housey tunes at the moment, Lighter, Nathan Dorr, and Head and Heart, Joel Corey. Are you guys surprised that there's not more remixes of them out? Because I've not heard any of either, as in official remixes.
No.
Thanks for that, Wade.
No, I haven't. I'm sure Nathan Dorr is going to do like a bassline remix and a garage remix and another. Probably Joel Corey will do a remix of Lighter.
Normally when people,
it's that kind of world.
When people make tunes like this, after sort of a month or two, when they're thinking, all right, we need to bump up our chart position, they'll get someone like your standard, your Colin J remix or your Purple Disco remix, or like those your White.
I'm sure for that track Lighter, I'm sure there's a remix package coming.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I think the reason they're most probably not too rushed about the remixes is because you can't play them anywhere, and normally the remixes are made for clubs or
it's true,
or like
it's true.
certain genres, like a drum and bass remix that would get played on the Radio 1 Drum and Bass show, or a big stomping club remix that would play like main room.
Yeah,
but you can't do that at the moment, so that's why I've got a feeling that's why they're holding off.
Okay. Oh, well, lovely. Well,
okay, right.
Chuck that
Let's get into the last. Sorry,
it's all right. I love it.
Let's get into the last segment of the news. Apple Music, they launched their radio station, Apple Music One, this following week, headed up by he's legendary to me, the legendary Zane Lowe.
I think he's maybe like top 5 radio presenters of this generation.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. They've also got big names like Lady Gaga with Gaga Radio and The Weeknd. they've expanded out, so it's not just Apple Music One. You've got Apple Music Hits with people like Estelle, Snoop Dogg, Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, and Apple Music Country with Kerry Underwood and many more country stars. They are all live and they're all on demand, so you can listen to them wherever you want. They're really taking the radio thing serious, by the way.
Do you think anyone actually listens to them? So obviously, is Beats One still staying?
I don't know. I
would assume that would be the hip hop one.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't really use Apple Music and I've got it. I have never once ever been sitting there thinking, oh yeah, you know what I really need to do? I need to listen to like, I don't know, Charlie Sloth's show, like someone like that, or like Crepton Conan show. Like, I've never done it. Like, do people listen to it? I mean, obviously, I'm sure Apple as a $2 trillion company knows far more about listenership than I do. But I thought no one really listens to the radio anymore.
I don't listen to Apple Music because I don't have Apple Music. I've got Spotify.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people that actually listen to the Apple Music radio show, like in their car, on their way to work.
So, can I just ask? Because I'm actually, when I'm like kind of listening to music, just listening for like pleasure, not for for DJing. I don't listen to Beats One or any of these kind of radio stations. I literally have no idea how like it works. So, do you literally just go on the Apple? Yeah, you
go on their app and it comes up like at the top.
Tune in.
Yeah.
And then it's a radio show, so it's just running. You can't change it. It just runs throughout the day, right? I'm assuming.
Like a normal traditional radio.
Long story short, you can listen to it like when you open up your Apple Music app. There will be normally a banner, but you can actually click radio. I think in the genre section or in one of the sections there's radio.
Oh, okay.
And then you get presented with all the choices of which radio station they run live. Or you can listen back to
section
on demand.
On the app now.
Yeah, so you can listen back to it on demand. So, for example, if you said, "Oh my God, they had Chris's favorite artist talking to Zane Lowe, and I missed it. It was yesterday." You can listen back to it. But they're really stepping out. Like they're coming hard with big names.
I mean, in fairness, I'm just looking now. They got a lot of big hosts. Obviously, Zane Lowe, Ebro's on there. From Hot 97, like iconic person, just straight person. Estelle. I'm just looking through like there's a lot of different radio stations.
They've launched Apple Music One, Apple Music Hits, Apple Music Country. Apple Music One is their flagship. Apple Music Hits is like tracks from the past 30 years, sort of like history. And Apple Music Country.
There is literally a show for every different style of music. So I feel like it's more podcasty, but it just happens to be streaming live. You know, like how Joe Rogan used to do it when he used to stream the podcast and then just leave it up. I think it's the same kind of thing, which is mad. I suppose it'll do well. I think they're thinking, do that half and half between the podcast and radio thing. Kind of works both ways, really.
I'll be honest with you. I know a few people so how radio stations work in America is very different to how they work over here. Yeah,
it's weird there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, friends and family that live in the States and Canada that listen to the Apple Music radio stations. So for example, Apple Music Hits or Apple Music One, same as like Sirius and all sorts of other stuff, like iHeartRadio. It's almost like streaming over there, but that's normalized. So I know this will have like a big North American impact and Canadian impact. I think it will take a while for it catches on over here in Europe, but I do think it will catch on.
You reckon?
Yeah. Because if you look at how, for example, cars and technology is when it comes to streaming, everything's starting to integrate so you can stream easier. It sounds silly. Bluetooth on a car used to be an extra, now it's standard.
Do you not think, though, it kind of already is a thing here? And I say that in the sense that, all the BBC radio, we've had iPlayer for years now, and they've got the iPlayer app. Is it just? Do you think it's just going to be the same kind of thing, but for if you don't like those radios,
BBC Sounds,
listen to the Ebro show?
Yeah, I think me personally, I think it's not necessarily an alternative, but maybe an equivalent.
Yeah, it's just another. This is the same thing, but these are our hosts. If you like our hosts more, come and listen. Okay.
Yeah, like the same reason people that really, really like Charlie Sloth will mostly listen to Charlie Sloth at Apple. People that really, really like Dottie will listen to her at Apple, and having
Oh, yeah, I
people
forgot she's
like
gone to
Lady
Apple.
Gaga.
I was just sitting there like, oh,
Yeah.
when did she go?
Having people like Lady Gaga, The Weeknd, Estelle, Snoop Dogg, Blink-182, Kerry Underwood, Elton John, Krypton Co. Like, you can literally list.
Yeah, there's a lot of
everything.
people that will just listen to one because they like an artist and then just go through
Yeah,
the library.
like Drake has OVO Sound on there.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne has Young Money Radio on
and Drake
like,
always drops
like, I'm
new
sorry.
tunes as well on there.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj has Queen Radio. Like, you're gonna garner support from fan bases. So I think it will become more of the thing over here as time goes on.
Mad.
In America, it's sort of like already a thing. So yeah, that is all the news stories today. Some trashy, some not so trashy. Chris's new series and another verses.
Yeah,
Lovely.
let's do it.
Okay, should we move on to reviewing some tracks?
Let's talk about some tunes.
Okay, before we start with the tracks, we've changed the way we do it. We used to do up and down. We've scrapped up and down because we just scrapped it.
Before we mix it up.
Well, we're going to the rating system that I was originally planning to do, but I thought, no, up and down's a bit simpler, but it's turned out it's not.
Turns out that we take
So,
45 minutes doing it anyway, so saying an extra couple of words makes no difference.
Yeah. So now the way we do it is you give the track a rating 1 to 5 drinks instead of stars.
Yeah.
Because it's the No Drinks in the Booth podcast. I will run through what each drink means. So if you give it 1 drink, it's not for you. You don't fuck with it. Get away. You don't want to listen to it. 2 drinks, you're not as offended by it, but it's still not for you. You're going to pass. 3 drinks, you don't mind it. It's in the middle. You don't love it. You don't hate it. You're fine with it, but you're most probably not going to, it's not the best thing you've ever heard. 4 drinks, it's your jam. You really like it. You're going to listen to it. You're going to play it. It's for you. 5 drinks, you absolutely fucking love it. And, well, that's it. It gets 5 drinks. You can't
Playing
get
on
better than
repeat.
5 drinks.
Yeah.
Playing on repeat. Okay. So that's how it works. 1 to 5 drinks.
Nice.
You can give it a 0, but I would advise strongly against it because that means you hate everything about it.
Yeah. 0's like reserved for like the worst of the worst.
Pav, I think judging by the episode before last, I think 0's reserved for you for being.
Yeah.
0
I was
is
just
just for
about to
Pav,
say,
yeah.
Be young, don't release
0
tunes, bro.
is
Like, I'm coming for you now. If you're listening.
Okay, 0 is just for Pav. Pav can give things a 0.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. We won't do it.
I'm
but
saving
Pav
it.
can.
I'm saving it for Chris's next white label series.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's good actually.
I'd like to point out we don't review Chris's Head and Heart remix on this week. Sorry.
Oh.
Because let's face it, it'll get 5 drinks and we'd love it and we'd play it.
And he only sent it to me 10 minutes ago, so I've not listened to it yet.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I really like the track. Before we even get into the reviews, I really like the track, but I really like the gifts better.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
The gifts are sick.
Well, that's what it is this day and age. It's all about social media,
All
isn't it?
sorts.
Like I
Yeah.
said the other day. Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Podception.
Right.
Sorry.
Right, let's talk about the tracks quickly. Every yeah, because you just rabbit on. Let's talk about the tracks. Don't forget, every track that we review each and every week is in our Spotify playlist, which we will link below. Also, you can find it just by searching on Spotify No Drinks in the Booth, and the playlist is called No Drinks in the Booth. It will also have a YouTube playlist thanks to the wonderful Chris Watson.
Yay.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, we're doing 1 to 5 drinks rating. Let's start. Big track. We've got some really good ones this week. Starting off, Heady One, AJ Tracy and Stormzy. The track is called Ain't It Different. It's produced by Toddler T. I'm going to start because it's my segment. I love the track. It gets 5 drinks straight away. The sampling is really, really well done. I like each one of the artists on it, and I'm backing it all the way. Toddler T is bringing out heat after heat after heat in productions, and good on him. So I straight away 5 drinks, and I'm backing it all the way. Pav?
I also really like it. I gave it a 4. I gave it 4 drinks out of 5. Not 5. It's still pretty good. I mean, we're kind of clutching at straws. It wasn't like completely perfect for me, so I couldn't give it 5. But I listened to it and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. And then I was like, oh shit, AJ's coming. Oh, this is really good. And then like no one had a dead verse, and then Stormzy came in and I was like, this is cool. No one had a dead verse. Beat was hard. Can't complain.
I think it's got all the elements you'd like to.
Yeah, it's got all the ingredients to be a Big club banger.
Yeah, let's get the clubs open. Chris?
I'm going to shake things up a little bit. The beat goes hard. Big shouts to Toddler T. That's increased it by a few drinks.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of AJ Tracy, and he's also stands out. He's probably like had the best verse, the best section. Heady one, he drops his lyrics so quick. I don't really know what he's saying half the time. I just can't keep up with it. And Stormzy, yeah, I think he goes much harder on grime. So I'm gonna have to say 2 drinks out of 5. I'm going there.
For someone that's like
drinks rating.
For someone that says the beat goes hard, I love the fact you give it 2.
Yeah, but the beat goes hard. AJ was hard, but somehow it got a 2 out of 5.
And that's 2, isn't it?
I thought we'd get a 3.
I thought it was going to get a 3 as well, but who would have thought the rating system, Chris was going to be the harshest?
Yeah, I know.
My first ever rating with the drink system. I'm going for a 2, guys. There's no mercy here.
Yeah. All right, white Jesus. Let's move on.
That's a compliment.
So that's his new joke.
Exactly.
That sounds like a compliment.
Yeah, the white
beard.
I'd like
it's going to be the white Jesus and blessed Madonna just together.
Collaboration.
I'd like to point out Chris's beard is looking very full and very healthy. So
healthy, yeah, that's
right.
the word.
Next track, next track, Clean Bandit and Mabel features 24K Golden. The track is called TikTok. Chris.
Yeah, Clean Bandit. It's nice to see some actual real musicians putting out music that's going to do well.
Shots. Mate, you're getting quite controversial today, aren't you?
Well, now we've got this new rating system. It's just
Chris really likes the rating system.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Chris has basically gone Stormzy is shit, and everyone should play their own instruments on songs.
Stormzy is great on grime. I've always said that about Stormzy. He's
scrap that collaboration.
He's a grime MC. He should be a grime MC. But anyway, we're talking about Clean Bandit.
Talk about Clean Bandit, please.
I'm going to give the song 3 drinks out of 5. It's a good song. It's catchy. It's poppy. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. And the video's wicked. Clever using the TikTok name. Clever because they're going to try and get it onto TikTok and all that kind of stuff. The dance and the videos they're doing a dance that they repeat. Yeah. So clever. Really good music. It's the perfect package. 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Not that perfect because he only got 3, but okay.
True. I did think that as I said it out loud. But
it's the perfect
3 out of 5. It's the
perfect package, but I'm going to drop it by 2 ratings.
No. Listen, no. It's a great. No. Come on. It's a great song.
I can't.
It's a great song, but it's not something I'm going to have like on repeat every day. So.
It's alright, Chris. You don't have to explain yourself, mate.
Wade said what each one meant, so I'm going with 3. I'm going with 3.
Chris. 3 is absolutely fine. Don't let Pav corrupt you.
Thank you.
I was like, first thing I wrote was very, very apt name, calling it TikTok. Definitely not trying to get it on TikTok, but okay. I gave it a 2.5. I didn't give it a 3 because I was like,
was that like 2 drinks and a shot?
Hold on a second. Sorry, Wade. Are we allowed to do halves? I feel like halves. Can we do halves?
I mean, we can. It's a number. If I was like 2.75, then I'd be like, fair play. Yeah, it was half.
No, you can't do like 2.75. If you want to give it a half, you feel strongly enough to give it a half. You can.
What does 2.5 mean?
Right, listen.
It means it's not a 2, but it's in the middle.
I personally would try and stick to full drinks because 2.5 is like 2 drinks and a shot. So try and stick to full ones if you can.
Okay, well that's ruined the rest of this.
I know you don't like this tune, so just.
Oh no, because I don't hate it, but the problem is I listen to it.
So that means it's a 3.
I don't.
Look, 3 is literally middle ground. You don't hate it, you don't love it, you're fine.
But I like it a little bit less. You're moving on, which is the problem. Okay, I'm going 2.5. I'm having it.
You could do halves if you really want.
Because I wrote it's just standard Clean Bandit, and it like if someone said, "Oh, here's a Clean Bandit song," like that's exactly what I would expect it to sound like. Which is why
Mabel's on it. You're a fan.
I'm a fan of Mabel. I was like, her vocals always sound pretty good. I thought the lyrics were a little bit flat. But yeah, like it's okay. I think it would do decent commercially. I think it's like that classic commercial radio song. I think it would do quite well, but I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go on, Wade. Hit us with it.
Okay. I think the same as you. It's like your classic commercial radio song. I'm not going to elaborate too much on it. It gets 2 drinks. That's
Mad.
it. Like it's good. It's a good song. It's not something I'm going to go.
So what you're saying is, even as an average now, we're 2.5 drinks between us. I was right. Yeah. I love it.
Right. Moving on, heavyweight collaboration. Pharrell featuring Jay-Z. The track is called Entrepreneur. Pav?
I gave it a 2 out of 5, which is controversial because I'm a massive Pharrell fan. Normally, the presence of his name on a song gets it a 3 just on its own. But I listened to it and I was like, I don't want to listen to any more. So it became a 2.
Wow. Okay. All right. We disagree, but that's the point of this podcast. 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2.
Okay, Chris?
The message in the track is obviously a great one. The video is absolutely fantastic. The actual track as a piece of music did not cut it for me at all. I was kind of a little bit disappointed.
You know what I mean? You see Jay-Z
coming together,
basically the GOAT, and then you see Pharrell, who is undisputedly the GOAT, and you're like, this song should not be shit in any way, shape, or form.
And that's the thing. So the actual musical quality of the track kind of a bit disappointing for me personally, but the message that the song's putting forward is so great, and the video is absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna have to go 4 drinks out of 5.
Okay,
just for those 2
I forgot
reasons.
what?
4 drinks out of 5.
I thought you said 2.
I agree with Chris. No, I agree with Chris. I give it 4 drinks out of 5 as well. I think the message is fantastic. The video is fantastic. Yeah, I don't think the song holds up what you might expect from a Pharrell and Jay-Z track, but I think the message is sort of the main point. So for me, it gets 4 drinks.
Lovely.
Okay.
Nice.
Moving on, Nines features NSG, and the track is called Airplane Mode. Chris?
Yeah, this is actually a really nice surprise. I feel like this is actually a really surprisingly great track. The beat is awesome. Nines, that flow he does over it, it's laid back. It's just, you have to use the word vibey, like it's just super vibey. So I'm going to give it 4 drinks out of 5.
Pav?
I mean, I gave it 3.5, but I'm feeling inclined to not use halves here, so I'm going to give it a 3.
Can't do halves for everyone.
Try and avoid the halves.
I was trying to avoid
Halves, that's a rare exception. Halves are a rare exception.
Same like 0, rare exception.
Okay, I'll give it a 3. It was vibey. I'm not a huge fan of that sound, but I know that I'll play it, so I can't really complain, and it'll probably grow on me.
The thing is, Pav, neither am I, but this one, like,
I might genuinely play it.
It's new. It's something new. It sounds different.
Yeah, I was impressed on how good 9 sounds on it.
Yeah, literally.
But I always have to not take something away from NSG. I just always feel like, I don't even know how to say it without sounding like I'm a massive hater. But there's always
here we go.
It's fine. It's not Be Young.
You know, like
it's okay.
A lot of artists have a distinct sound, and it's kind of one of those, like, if you don't like one of Pharrell's songs, you're probably going to hate a lot of them. Same with NSG. I'm not a huge fan of that sound particularly, so like, I don't like a lot of their releases a lot, which is why I have to give it a 3.
Okay, I think that's fair. Okay, Airplane Mode Nides featuring NSG. It gets 4 drinks from me. I like it for all the same reasons both of you like it. Sounds like NSG, and Nine's flow on the track is really, really
Yeah, I
good.
really like his flow on the tune.
It just gets 4 tracks. Like, it was when I heard it, I straight away was up 4. Like, straight away. So for me, it gets 4 drinks. Okay, next, track 5 in our reviews. The track is called Melanin. It's by Michael Bruin, featuring, is it Carlo?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
I think it's Carlo. I don't think it's
Carlo,
Carlo. Yeah, Carlo. I'll start with this one. I love Carlo on track. She's on Rinse and Repeat. She's on Money with Written. She's on loads of tracks. I really like her voice. I really like her flow. This is no exception. It gets 4 drinks out of 5 from me. It's a really good dance record, and I'm sure it will get featured heavily on the commercial dance scene. So it's 4 drinks out of 5 from me. Chris?
Yeah, it's going to have to be 4 drinks out of 5. I was tempted to give it a 4.5 or a 5, but I'm going to just stick with 4 because I don't want to be throwing away 5s too easily.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's got to be something special to get 5.
Yeah, this track is awesome. Same as Wade, massive fan of Carlo. She's awesome. The only downside, thinking back to what we were saying last week, Michael, he's in the video, great producer, great DJ, but he's turned up with a controller in the video. I mean, come on.
Oh,
I haven't seen the video.
when you produce, I don't know what labels it. I'm sure it's on site like a good label. You know,
Yeah.
he's a credible producer, great producer. God, we need those CDJs in there. Come on, standards. No drinks.
What,
in the
I
booth.
mean, it's not
What
like
we
he
said
was
last
playing
week,
the song.
We need CDJs in these videos. We need CDJs in these videos. We've
Chris,
got to represent.
what
Us
controller?
DJs have got to represent.
Chris.
I couldn't quite. Hold on. I couldn't quite see. I
Dear
think,
six,
I
and
think-
there is tension in the no
think-
drinks in the booth house.
no. Wait. Honestly, I couldn't actually. I'm
I haven't
fired up
seen the
after last
video.
week, and I couldn't actually see what the controller was. It looked like
Let me confirm.
a native instruments kind of
Oh, like
controller. It was like
Like a S8.
like a tractor one, I think, like a tractor one or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, you know, if
I haven't.
producing-
I'll be honest with you.
Come
I
on.
haven't seen the video.
Neither have I. I'm looking at
so
it. I'm looking
I'm-
for it right now.
I'm not going to comment on the what controller it is. Yeah, let
Yeah.
Pav look at it.
So, Michael, absolutely awesome track, mate. But come on, we need some CDJs. You're earning enough money. So yeah, four out of five on the track.
You don't know his financial commitments.
Actually, no, I don't. But I'm sure. I hope he is because he does make great music. But
He does. He
Come
does really make great.
come on,
music.
management
Whoa,
label.
hang on a second,
We need some 2000s. We need some 2000s in that video. We need some 2000s in that video, please. CDJs, DJM. Come on, standards.
He's actually
Well, that-
using
represent.
an XDJ XZ, which is the new flagship standalone controller from Pioneer. So it's not actually a controller; it's just an all-in-one.
Oh well, that shut Chris up.
I'm sure some beginners can have.
He's
a
also
great
got a
time on
bottle of
controller,
Bacardi,
but
so we know
come on.
what.
Oh God! Did you just say? I'm sure some beginners
think-
can have a great time on that controller.
Yeah, but come on, DJs. We've got to represent. We need top quality
It's
equipment.
£2
in everything
grand,
we're
mate.
doing. We got standards here.
You heard this?
You just
Chris?
plug a USB into it.
It's
I know
£2
what
grand
control-
for,
I know-
it's $2 for one CDJ.
Oh.
There's levels here.
Get your SX out, mate.
Well, we can scrap Chris's collaboration with Michael Bruin now. After
Oh,
that.
come on. No,
I'm joking.
He's
I'm joking.
wicked, but, you know.
They should have put CDJs in the video.
It's
They
more,
should put-
it's
they
more
should put
aimed at his label.
They should have put turntables in the video. That's my.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
to be
if it
honest,
was
why
wave video, there'd be
weren't they playing with
turntables.
cassette?
Do you know what? We can go around this for ages.
Get your
but
phonographs
Pav is
out.
going to tell us. Pav is going to tell us what he thinks of the track. now.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It sounded quite nice. It was groovy and it made me feel good when I listened to it. So 3.
Okay, nice, short, sweet. I like that. Okay, moving on. Legendary Dizzy Rascal featuring Chip. The track is called LLLL. Love, Life, Live Large. Pav, you can start with this.
This is going to be my first bad rating. Got a
Here we
1.
go. Oh, God.
It just wasn't very good. The first thing it reminded me of was that N-Dubs tune, Love, Live, Life, was it? Which was an album. That was definitely an album. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's basically the same thing. He's just added another L. And that's apt because Dizzy's been taking L's. Like, I just think, like, you know, since he's like come back after his like hiatus and trying to make tunes, I just don't think anything's popped. Like, even on his like, the only song that he's been on in the last sort of 4 years where I thought, you sound really good on this is Black with Deneo. Like, Deneo and JME featuring him.
Tune.
That's a really, really good song. And he just sort of, he's just okay on the tune. It just looks good to have him on the tune. I just don't think anything he's released has been particularly great. And I think this is kind of carried that legacy on. Obviously, he had the tune Hype with Calvin Harris a couple of years ago, which was only, they only made that because he had one song left on his contract with Calvin, because obviously they made a few tunes together. And I think he was trying to like say, oh wow, wicked if I get Calvin on a tune and I might like revive my career a bit. But it's not really worked, and this song's done kind of the same for me. So yeah, 1, unfortunately, 1 drink.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, unfortunately, with some like modern rap and stuff nowadays, like, you need to kind of sound like you're so laid back, you're almost like falling asleep on the track. And unfortunately, Dizzy, absolute legend, grime legend, he's quite old school, so he sounds like quite loud.
Do you think
in music now? Is, you know, it's quite, you know, it's quite aggressive. You know, like think about Heady One and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Do you
but
think that the only
but
way
you
for
can't- I
Dizzy
don't
to
think
come
you
back
can-
is if he just goes pure grime? If he's like on a rhythm and gash level of grime,
Yeah, like
do you think
really,
he's got to drop
yeah,
one
like
of those
really,
albums.
maybe like really credible grime, or
Or
you know,
Basically, if he makes a collab album
Yeah,
with
yeah.
JME, it'll be sorted.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in the age of auto-tune, like the loud lyrics and stuff, it doesn't really kind of...
I think he's just trying to make Boy in the Corner 2 all the time.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's his style, isn't it? I mean, he's an artist. Like, that is his art.
Hang on, whoa, hang on.
It's difficult.
So, you're not a fan of the track because it sounds like how Dizzy Rascal is in Boy in the Corner, but you think he needs to make more Boy in the Corner?
Oh, I didn't say that. No, that's like...
No, but it's just like the beat is like a modern sounding beat.
Right, I get you.
And in terms of when he's trying to put these tracks out...
It's like if you listen to...
It's almost like it does sound...
How many drinks?
A little bit dated. I'm going to have to say probably 2 out of 5.
It's a bit like... So, just to keep talking about this, but... did you guys listen to the Black Eyed Peas' last album? That was like a proper hip hop album. They had a tune on there with Nas, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's an old school sound. So they rapped old school on an old school sound. It wasn't like new school sound, old school rap, because that doesn't really work. Or
that's
the
what
other
Disney
way.
needs to do.
You've kind of got to take it one way or the other, because the way music is now, you kind of like can't do one or the other. It has to be both.
Yeah. Because he's not like a Migos artist. He's not not Migos, they're American, but I mean, he's not like a Heady One artist.
Get Swifter on a beat, man.
Drill artist.
That's what we need. Get Swifter on a beat.
Idea.
Okay, right. Love, Life, Live Large, Dizzy Rascal featuring Chip. I give it a 3 because I actually like Dizzy Rascal quite a lot. Even some of his L's I don't mind. I don't mind him on it. It's going to pass me by. That's the thing. It's not the best stuff I've heard from Dizzy Rascal. It's not the worst stuff I've heard from Dizzy Rascal, but it just sort of sits under being what I want it to be. It's there, but it's not quite there. Yeah. If that makes sense. So he gets 3 drinks from me. Okay, moving on to more dance stuff. DJ Zinc featuring Kudu Blue. The track is called Out of Control.
Love this song. Might be my tune of the week. I just listened to it and I was like, how vibesy is this? Like, it's just decent. It's not a 5. I'm going to give it a 4 because I wasn't like completely, but I listened to it and I was like, yeah, really, really like this. Wasn't DJ Sync the guy that made While Out? Just while we're here. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes. Legendary drum and bass producer, and he brought out a series of house music called Crack House.
I mean, While Out might be one of the most timeless songs in UK music history. And he's proved that he's actually a really good producer because he's banged this tune out and it was a legend. It's bad boy tune.
When I'm saying he's like a legendary drum and bass producer, he's literally like the cream of the crop.
Well, there's very few artists that can have DJ at the beginning of their name and still do well because it's kind of semi-frowned upon. So if people do have it, you're like, okay, like how many, even though every single like EDM producer is a DJ as well, only a couple of them get away from actually being both properly, like your DJ Snakes, etc. having DJ at the beginning. So if you've got that, it's like a little moniker on top. You're already one ahead.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, just quick shout to the Crack House series when he did Blunt Edge and Next. There's that stuff. Amazing, wicked music. And yeah, this one it sounds like it came out in like 2003, 2004. It sounds a little dated compared to what I thought he'd be coming out with at the minute. But Zinc is an absolute legend. So I'm gonna have to take a leaf out of Pav's book. I'm gonna have to go 2.5 on this one. 2.5 out of 5.
I thought you'd give it more. Okay. Out of Control, DJ Zinc featuring Kudu Blue. It gets a 3 from me. I really like it. I like really, really like DJ Zinc stuff. I have for years. He did a wicked collaboration. He did a wicked collaboration with A-Track a few years ago called Stingray, and all the Crack House stuff that we spoke about. He did really well. I really like this. I think it's actually going to do well on like stuff like Friday Night Kiss and Radio 1 and all them sort of things. I just think it's a good track. It gets 3. Moving on.
Lovely.
Keeping it housey. The track is called Unapologetic Raver. It's by Green Velvet and who's it by? Green Velvet and Eli Brown. Chris.
Yeah, absolutely love this track. This is a bit of me. The lyrics of the track, I wish they could just be said to kids around the country. Like, this is what they need to be being told, as opposed to stuff they're hearing from like 6ix9ine. But we're not going to get into that just for the sake of the review. So yeah, and Eli Brown, he is quality. He's collaborated with like Calvin Harris. I've seen him live a few times.
Solado.
Solado, yeah, he takes you on a journey, and a really good producer, really good DJ. So this is a 4 out of 5 for me. This one, really good track. We need more music like this.
I'm gonna have to go for the classic half here, but it's a bit more positive. It's a 3.5 because those lyrics were really pushing me. The only reason why it didn't get a 4 is because I'm just not a massive fan of that style of kind of like house, like where it's sort of like where you have like. It's slightly like a bit. It's a bit like anti-drop, like it doesn't drop, and you're sort of waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to this, you're pretty deep down the wormhole.
It's like one of those tunes, which is the only reason why it didn't get a 4. But I exactly agree with you. The lyrics are so good, and they sound like the vocal sounds really good as well. So I have to give it 3.5 drinks.
Okay, Green Velvet and Eli Brown. The track's called Unapologetic Raver. I can't say it. It gets 4 drinks from me. I like it for all the same reasons. Chris likes it and Pav likes it. I like all dark stuff, as you might have realised by the Michael Beebe track that we did a few weeks ago, reviewed a few weeks ago. I really like it, yeah. I literally can't say anything more that you haven't said. So it gets 4 from me, and I'm going to move on.
A bit.
Something that's not dark, something that's really bright. Sunny Days, the track's called. It's by Dennis Farrer, and it features Dawn Tallman. Chris.
Yeah, it's a nice summery track. Big shouts to Defective Records. It's just one of these like happy, great festival. I can imagine it in it paints a good picture. Like, so it's a probably 3 out of 5 for me. Good record.
Oh, lovely. So he's just spaced out there.
I thought he was going to like say something more, and he didn't. So,
again, I really like the tune. Again, with tunes like this, because I'm not really like that far down the house rabbit hole and like any of that kind of style of music. I basically just literally go with what I think as soon as I hear it, like in the first minute or whatever, and listen to this. And the song made me feel good, and can't really ask for much more from like these kind of tunes. So it's got to be a 4 for me. I had great fun brushing my teeth to this tune.
Nice. It's a really happy song. Sunny Days, Dennis Farrer featuring Dawn Tallman. It gets 4 from me. I really like it.
Is this the first one we've all agreed on?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Classics.
It's really happy. It's really bright. Well, that's why it's called Sunny Days. It's just sort of like feel-good house, which at the moment I think everyone needs. So it gets 4 drinks from me. Okay, moving on. Track number 10. It's by Bruce C, and the track is called Mission. Pav?
This was a bit of a neutral one for me. Didn't have too many bad feelings about it. Didn't have too many good feelings. It was all right. Didn't think it was shit. So it's a 3 out of 5.
didn't think it was shit. Okay, Chris.
Yeah, another 3 out of 5 for me. The beat goes pretty hard. It's like a proper UK drum and bass, out on the sesh type feel, which is cool. It's always good fun. 3 out of 5 for me on Mission.
Okay, Mission, Bruce C. It gets 3 out of 5 from me as well, oddly enough.
Is that 2 in a row now we've agreed on? Guys, we are on a roll.
I think it's a really good track.
We're getting into it now. We're getting into the new rating system. We're getting comfortable with it.
It's a really good track. It is just good UK drum and bass. I like it. It gets 3 out of 5. I'm not huge into drum and bass, and the stuff that I do really like is heavier than this, but solid. 3 out of 5. Okay, next track is called Thrusting. It's by Internet Money featuring Sway Lee and Future. Chris?
Really like this one. Really enjoyed listening to this. I've saved it to my playlist. Really, really cool track. I would have preferred it without Future. There's a version without Future. That would be great. But
shut that collaboration down.
Well, I mean, the chance of me collaborating with Future.
No, not you. I mean the track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the track as well. Like, it just didn't really.
Chris is like, I thought that's what you were saying.
Based on our conversation
better
earlier,
delete that email from to Universal.
Oh, that's it. Universal won't get my email anymore. Then I'll get my white label. So it's a good track. I really like the track. So 4 out of 5 for me on this one.
Okay,
Sway Lee
Pav.
killed it.
Yeah, really wasn't for me. I don't like this style of Sway Lee music. It's just a little bit depressing for me. So I did give it a 2, but on second thoughts, I think I might give it a 1 just because I was just like, it made me proper depressed listening to it, but not like good depressed. It wasn't like James Blunt depressed. It was like, yeah, no, this is dead. So yeah, 1 drink.
Okay. All right. Shout out to James Blunt, absolute legend. The track Thrust In by Internet Money featuring Sway Lee and Future. I really like it. It gets 4 drinks from me. I really like Sway Lee on it. I don't mind Future on it. But I really like the Internet Money stuff that's come out lately. And this is no different. So it gets 4 drinks from me.
Lovely.
Okay. Moving back into the dance stuff. The track's called Lover For Now. It's by the legendary Groove Armada.
Legendary.
The legendary Todd Edwards. Pav.
Yeah, didn't have too many thoughts on this one. It was a nice tune, so I gave it 3 out of 5. I'm gonna leave it sweet there. Yeah, didn't actually write much down for this one either, so yeah, not much to say.
Fair enough. Chris?
Yeah, Groove Armada, wicked. Todd Edwards, wicked. The track's good. 3 out of 5. Good track.
Okay, no one's got nothing to say about this.
There's not much to say. I don't think. I don't think there's nothing particularly special or bad about it. It's just a nice tune.
Okay, Lover For Now, Groove Armada featuring Todd Edwards. It gets 4, another 4 from me. I really like it. This is the type of house when I don't listen to dark and moody house. I love all like the disco-y feel good stuff. So it gets 4. It's an absolutely banging collaboration. And 4 drinks from me. Okay, moving on to another legend, Nas and Hit Boy. The track is called Ultra Black. It's off of Nas's new album. I'll go first with this one. Yeah, I love it. He disses Doja Cat in it quite subtly, but does it well. But it apparently is not meant to offend her. But
what's his beef with Doja?
The track. Oh, you need to look back at it. There's no particular beef. It's about Doja Cat being racist.
Oh, lovely.
The track's got a really good message. Nas is an absolute legend in the game. Queensbridge. I can't fault it. It is very close to getting a 5, but it's 4. So I'll give it 4 drinks. Pav?
I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. I think it's a cool tune. I think it's exactly kind of like, you know how we were saying with Dizzy Rascal earlier, like you can't have like old school flows on new school music because it doesn't quite work. This is the epitome of how to do it as a legend. Like I think he's hit it on the head. I think his lyrics are cool. Like he sounds quite good on it. Like his flow's banging. The beat's good. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I agree with what Pav said, really. It's a really good track. 4 out of 5 for me on the drink scale.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Last track is by Travis Scott. It's called The Plan. It's from the soundtrack of the Christopher Nolan's new film called The Tenant.
Tenet. I think Tenet.
Is it Tenet?
Tenet.
It's from Christopher Nolan's new film. There you go. The track only dropped, I think it'd be yesterday for us, but it will be Sunday for yous. So
it's Tenet.
Chris,
just to confirm that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tenet.
This is really cool. It's crazy now that artists like Travis Scott are getting on like film scores and stuff like that. Like it's big moves.
Christopher Nolan. That's a big.
Christopher Nolan. Just shows you how much Travis Scott has done. So yeah, and the track was really imaginative, really creative. Took you on a journey. Wicked. I'd say 4 out of 5 for me on the no drinks scale.
I was a 3, and then midway through listening, noticed that he shouted they're like ad libs are cool, and I love a good ad lib, but he shouted "skr" halfway through, and it was very angry, so it made me drop him down to a 2. But the tune's all right. Genuinely, I was like, okay, this is all right. Like I can understand why it sounds how it sounds because it's going on a film.
Yeah.
And then it was like "skr," and it was very prominent. And I was like, okay, no.
Have every one of you seen the trailer for the Tenet? Okay.
Yeah, literally good.
Yeah, I feel like this song fits the film to a T. Like it's obviously perfect. What it's for. It's obviously a big release because it's Travis Scott. It gets 3 from me, but if I see the film, it might get 4. It's hard because obviously we've not seen the film, but it suits it to a T. I find songs that come from films or are like one of the main songs in a film, if you're not too keen on them, sometimes you watch the film and then you are very keen.
Well, the songs that are made for the visual, it's not the other way around on it. So it's obviously way more
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, so it gets 3 from me, which I don't think is too bad. Okay, quickly, let's go into the track of the week. Pav, do you want to start with your track of the week and
Didn't
why?
think about this, but I'm gonna just quickly look through.
Okay, we can start with Chris.
I couldn't pick.
And
you have to, unfortunately.
I've got
I
mine.
know I was joking around the controller. He was using the video, but big shouts to Michael Bruin with Melanin. That is my track of the week because that track is wicked. And what a tune. So that's my one.
See, I didn't think you'd go for that. I thought you'd go for the Green Velvet track, but fair enough.
No, this one. That's my track of the week.
Okay, so you've gone for Michael Bruin featuring Carlo, Melanin. Great track.
Yes.
I'm going to go with DJ Sync, Out of Control. It was the one that made me feel the best when I listened to them all. So I'm going to have to go with that one. And I think it got the Joint Ice rating. So
Yeah, I think it did. Do you just want to guess what I'm going to go for?
Oh,
'Cause that seems to be a
yours
thing.
is going to be
We just
Nas
guess what
because
I'm
you're
gonna go.
one of those hip hop guys.
Chris, do you want to guess?
What, your favourite track?
Our track of the week. Yeah, because we guess every week and it's never what you all think.
Except for, no, we got it last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
And the
last
week
I
before, I
can't
think we got it
think-
right as well.
Yeah, well, you not got it
When
right
we got
this
your,
week. So.
your Hudson, whatever the fuck his name is, that guy.
Well,
Hudson Mohawk.
Wasn't it last week? Was that the Internet Money was your track of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that last? Is it Internet Money again this week?
No, it's not. It's Heady One, AJ Tracy and Stormy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Fake hip hop lover.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Over
No,
Nas.
I thought you didn't like drill. I thought you don't like drill.
I'm not a big fan of drill, but the sample in it
Over
is
Nas.
fantastic.
I'm very shocked.
Wow. Sorry.
I'll be honest.
We have it here recorded on a podcast. Wade just chose Heady One over Nas. It just happened.
That is mad.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Nas was
Is
obviously
he second choice?
close second choice. The only reason I didn't go
It's
for
because
Nas is
We
because
thought that you were going to pick Nas. Is that why?
no, nothing to do with that. Is because if you listen to the album is as a whole fantastic. It's not maybe a singles album. It's more of a like body of work that you listen to,
I
as
love
in track by track. The one that I would listen to and play, and I love the sample is the Heady One, AJ Tracy and Stormzy Ain't It Different
Mad.
track. Don't forget as well, all the tracks that we review and talk about in the podcast, you can find in our No Drinks in the Booth playlist on Spotify. The link will be below. Also, if you want to search it yourself, it's No Drinks in the Booth, and the playlist is the same name. Chris is going to do a YouTube playlist as well, so you can see videos if they've got videos.
Nice.
And that, for this week, is the news, reviews, and track of the week.
Yeah, we love that.
Cool. Thanks very much, Wade.
Insert
for the news again.
crowd cheering.
Crowd cheering. Thanks for the news. That was good, and the track reviews as well. They were
Yeah,
really good.
I feel like I could have done better with those. Sorry about the trashiness, but I wanted to take it Jerry Springer
love it.
style for a little bit.
Look,
Catch
we
me
offer
outside.
something
How
for
about
everyone,
that?
okay?
Sorry, just me.
Yeah,
There you go. And wait, we offer something for everyone, and we've
Woo.
done that.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
got
there
a
you
bit of
go.
trashy, bit of everything. So awesome. Right.
But thanks for having me.
Go
See you
on.
later.
Bye. Have a
That's it,
great
he's off
time.
now. So Pav, we should talk about my topic, which I've chosen
I'm
for
still here.
this week. Oh wait, oh he's back. The topic I've chosen for this week, I've gone for the headline: Forget UK and US music, Asian music is the future. And we're talking about music that's coming out of China, South Korea, Japan in particular. And guys, what do we think? First impressions, first thoughts when I bring up this topic. Have you been listening to much of what's been coming out from artists such as Blackpink, BTS, High Brothers? Have you heard of these people? Have you
I've got to play my cards
listening
here.
to them? Pav, do you want to start?
I'll
with you?
play my cards here because I've listened to almost none of it. And I don't know too much about it either.
A lot of people haven't.
It's very niche.
It's still it's breaking.
What
through.
I will
It's
say,
breaking
and
through.
I'm just going to throw in, because I don't have anything musically particularly to say about a lot of it, I'm going to throw the a classic argument out here. It's not classic, but it will be, because this is another classic episode.
Yep.
When people talk about like you say, Asian music is the future, etc., I always like to think about it because like we listen to that music and think, oh, it's weird, or etc. etc. But if you think about it in a bit of a meta way, and I realize this is also a very weird, like very deep argument to drop with first. Actually, that K-poppy etc. that kind of sound actually might be the norm. If you look through the whole world, we just only really look at Western music. There's far more people in China, Japan, Korea, and that area of Asia than there is in the rest of the world. So if anything, they're kind of the popular music anyway. It's just their culture's evolving to include music more.
Well, that's why I said in our notes and in the podcast title, I've said Western popular music.
Yeah.
I made sure I put that in there. I'm talking about the US and the UK because we're saying as if like it's breaking through. It's already broken through.
It's just not here.
It's not new. It's just not here.
I know a couple of people that have played like K-pop nights and stuff in like England, and it's.
I've been to one. No joke. I've been to a K-pop night. Yeah, in Birmingham. I went to one. I was DJing at the same venue.
And how did that go down? Was it decent?
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Like just. It was.
I mean, we
awesome,
have a very
like,
big Southeast Asian cohort in England, particularly Birmingham, because of like the unis and stuff. There's a lot of people from those parts of the world.
Yeah, man, it was hype. It was. Really
I
hype.
do think it is going to become a thing. Like, it'll become like a standard.
Because where this kind of all came from is that I was thinking back to a time when I went to my friend's halls in Coventry. This was like a couple of years back, or I think actually last year. And he was like, "Oh, check out this group, Blackpink. They're like K-pop." And I was actually like, "Mate, like you listen to K-pop now?" He's like, It's quite new to me. I was like, "Why are you listening to K-pop?" And he put this video up, and I saw it. It was a Blackpink track. I can't actually remember which track it was. It had 909 million views on YouTube.
This is what I'm saying. It's the norm.
My word.
Just not here.
And he played the track, and I was like, "This is amazing," because you have like the verse, which is like a Ariana Grande poppy trap type thing. Then it goes into the chorus. Then it's like there's like a drop like halfway through the track, and it goes like double time. Like at the
that's
end
the only thing I don't like. That's not a style that fits
crazy. No, but I was quite impressed by it because just all these styles in one track, and the video production value is amazing. And if you do some reading on what it takes to be a K-pop star, like how it's done, it is insane, and I find it fascinating. Like the actual what these girls and guys go through to be a K-pop star. But yeah, Pav, have you heard Blackpink? How you like that? Do you listen to,
that
didn't,
track? But I've listened to a few bits.
I actually like the track. It's awesome.
Like I said, I'm not like against any of it. Like I don't like the double time thing, but I don't like that in any music. So that like kind of it's sort of.
I think that died for me with like 2011 kind of like electro house dubstep era. I feel like Wade knows what I'm talking about.
Like that hardcore thing. Like it's just a bit of a no. Like the only person that ever did double time well was Space Hunter.
It doesn't. No track spring to mind, to be honest. I only know like.
Oh really? But like he's got that kind of style, like that sort of speed of tune, which is sort of I think what a lot of people. What's the word? Like a lot of people associate with like K-pop and that style of music. But I think now that's not really the case. Like I think now it's just a case of they are making songs that just happen to not be in English. So it's.
Wait, what kind of your experience? Like, have you been kind of listening to some of the stuff coming from these countries, or where are you at?
Many years ago, I used to listen to a group called the Teriyaki Boys, Japanese hip hop group, and they used to
sounded like a sandwich shop, to be fair, mate. But okay,
well, you might know it, you might not. The clothing brand of Bathing Ape.
Yeah.
They were. And Nigo, the legendary streetwear designer, they were signed to Bape Records.
Oh,
I'm not
mad!
sure if it's called Bape Records, but the Bathing Ape record label, and Nigo was part of the group. They had tracks with Kanye West, they had tracks with Pharrell, they had tracks with Busta Rhymes, they had tracks with literally like the cream of their hip hop crop at the time. And some of their songs were banging, and you'll also know them from the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift soundtrack.
Big. Do you know that it's crazy the amount of people when I'm DJing actually ask for that song?
Yeah, that's the Teriyaki Boys. I used to listen to them, and I really liked it. The only thing that stopped me listening to them was the fact they broke up, and I didn't know where to listen to any more Japanese hip hop, and the fact that I couldn't speak Japanese. But I do have a bit of experience with Asian music because I listen to sometimes two guys you might have heard of, you might not have, Jay Park and Rich Brian. Rich Brian's a hip hop artist.
Jay Park rings a bell. I can't tell you much.
Jay Park is
I've heard of that name.
Yeah, Jay Park. Really, really. I think they're both Korean. I could be wrong. I'm pretty certain Jay Park's Korean. I'm not sure if Rich Brian's Chinese. But yeah, they make banging tracks. When it comes to more the commercial sound, like the K-pop stuff, I've played BTS when I'm DJing before.
Mad.
Have you?
BTS are like the
have
poster
you?
boys, though, aren't they? Really like that.
Yeah, I played the track with Halsey, "Boy with Love."
Yeah,
which
I was going to
for me is I really like it. It's like a little guilty pleasure song. I think it's really well made.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I actually really like that track.
The
Nice
video's well done. The track's really well done. The only thing that puts me off of like the K-pop stuff is it's a little bit, obviously it's manufactured, but some of it comes across as a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it can feel very unauthentic.
Not even unauthentic. Some of it I feel like I feel bad for these kids that are doing it because I'm like, are they being forced into
I
it?
think I watched a video of Blackpink perform the song "How You Like That." I was just going to see. Like,
that's
what
a banging
the
song
performance
as well.
was like. The song's great, and I was like, wow, I want to see what it's like performance. And I was like, and as to expected, like. Not surprised. Amazing production and the dancing, the singing was like on point, like everything was great. But the only thing that kind of stuck out for me was kind of quite strange to my ears and eyes was the way that when they're singing, their faces are like completely blank. Like they don't. To me, it's like they don't know. But and some other groups, I've looked at some other like K-pop groups, and they're not the same as Blackpink. But Blackpink is an example, and they're one of the biggest. Their faces, like their facial expressions, there's no, even when they're singing like the emotional bits or like the rapping bits, there's no like...
They're dead inside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like there's no real kind of, I don't know, there's no real like emotion. It's like a very well rehearsed kind of performance. So I don't know whether that's because that's just how they've kind of, because in these in K-pop they get basically trained. If you read about it, they get like trained to sing and trained.
It's like military style stuff.
Military style, yeah. So I don't know whether it's that. I don't know if it's because of the way they've been trained, or it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just the style stylistically. That's kind of what they're going for, or maybe because they've done the performance so many times that. I don't know. They can't put emotion into it anymore. I don't know. I don't know enough about.
There's
the
just
culture, but that's one thing that did everything that did stick out to me, to my eyes.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that sometimes puts me off of it is not does it's obviously manufactured and it feels manufactured sometimes, which is a good thing because it's super tight. But it's the fact that I sort of feel like
swing. Do you know what I mean? Like it needs
emotion.
It needs like feeling. It's the reason why someone like Jay Dilla was really, really good. Is because like it's a little thing. It's going to be a little bit nutty. It's like he didn't quantize any of his beats because then it had feeling in the beat, and everyone knew it was off. And on a traditional level, you'd be like, oh my god, that kick drum's off and that snare drum's off. But it was him playing it, and how he played it is how he put it on. And it's the feeling like you might hit a note slightly differently when you sing. Like a song live or something. And I think maybe that's the problem with some of these like K-pop and that style of music, is that because there's no emotion in it, it's like, yeah, you want to sound like the record, but you don't want to sound exactly like it. You want to sound slightly different, just so, because you don't want to go and see an artist and be like, oh, well, I could have actually played the CD.
So Pav, would you say compared to some US and UK music that the K-pop music is slightly less artistic?
Yeah, I think that's
music?
the problem. I think I think we've got to remember as well. It's a very, very young market. It's not been around that long, even, especially coming over to the Western side. Like people like blues and Elvis and all this kind of stuff have been years in the making. So we're 30, 40, 50 years ahead, maybe. And even I think.
But you say ahead, and interesting. So sorry to interrupt, but you know they've got like 909 million streams. Are they behind? Are we behind? Like you know,
we also have to confirm whether all those are real or not, because that's a big problem in Asia as a whole in terms of music. Is that in order to look better, people buy views, which people do here as well. I'm sure.
And they do that here as well, but less so now, I've noticed.
In Asia, it's still a thing because they think, like, you know how you've just said, oh yeah, but they've got 900 million views, and it like that's automatically brought them forward Do you know what I mean? You've already put
Yeah,
you've
in
already
my
put
mind,
them on a
I
pedestal.
suddenly think they're more serious. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
True,
want to. What's the word? I don't want to accuse anybody of anything because I have I don't know at all. But it is a possibility. And again, I don't want to generalize that like sort of part of the world, but it's just more prevalent there, so we kind of have to a little bit. I think you're right. I think it just needs a bit more feel. I mean, I have a big problem with most artists singing live, so because I'm a bit picky like that, because I just think, especially now, so like an artist, so someone like Ed Sheeran, who has a similar model to most of the artists, literally makes like 96% of their money on live performances and like 4% on sales, and that's most artists are about that kind of split. Like no artist making more than about 10% on actual sales. So it's like your live performance actually needs to be better than ever before. And I don't think maybe that's the case with a lot of these artists.
Well, I think that's the problem, isn't it? They're actually like, the way it is in Korea and places like that is that in K-pop is that it has to look and be perfect. So
That's
perfect.
what struck me about the Blackpink performance.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Do you think though?
I think
sorry, just
I mean, just one thing I was say on that. For me, I think I've said this. You might have noticed the things I've said this in a few previous episodes. Like, I actually do like that. I respect that. I like it when things are done really well, and it is. I'm impressed by how amazing it is. Like the production, the videos, the choreography, the song, the production of the song, the branding, the graphics, social media. I'm so impressed with the whole thing. It's just this massive like business effort to like push this. That actually impresses me, but I can understand how people would see it differently.
Well, I'd like to point out as well, I think the thing, especially if you watch these K-pop documentaries, I've watched a few, I don't know if you have, but I think the thing that always puts me off of K-pop is it's like, how authentic is it? Because it's like that fake smile.
Well, we say the same thing about artists here that are like, we're like, oh yeah, they're record label manufactured and stuff. Like,
but out there they try and get them from, no, it's not even that. They try and like get them from like the age of like 6 into K-pop academies, and like it's a very like there's manufactured and there's like literally being like boot camped into being a pop star.
Some of the reports in like our media from what it's like for these upcoming artists, it is literally like training boot camp.
Like, the one other thing I'd like to point out is when it comes to manufactured talent, and this is no diss to the people I'm going to mention, but in the Western world, we've been doing manufactured talent for years. Look at Christina Aguilera, look at Britney Spears, look at people, you know, you can look at more
people we
ones.
Still like Chris Brown back in the day.
Yeah, Dua Lipa.
This is a thing that I'm not
they're manufactured.
I can kind of agree with you. I don't think they're to the level, and that's probably why. Because if we're talking like you say, like 6, 8, 9 years old, and you're in these camps or whatever, like, and you're like literally learning how to be a star. I don't think a lot of these guys were. They just happened to be a little bit talented, and people said, all right, well, let's take this much talent and turn it into this much talent, rather than just kind of essentially picking people off and being like, picking people off the street kind of thing, and being like, oh yeah, you might be good, let's get you in. I think here it's slightly more organic, just because the industry is more evolved. Another big problem, but like another big thing with that side of the world is their culture's very, very different to ours, and so
extremely.
And so because the culture's different, it's like the actual processes are different to here, where it's like more organic here. It might not be there just because like that. It's like a little thing. So like here, we don't see it as much because it's not like out in the open. But like in like, and this is all parts of Asia, like stuff like bribing the police is like a very normal thing. And it's a very weird like thing. So like bribing the police is a normal thing. Like in like India and probably China, etc., to get away with stuff.
Well, I don't know about China.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about China because I can't comment because I know nothing.
Yeah, still quite state control.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think, but China, but definitely like places like, I mean, I've been there, Thailand, Vietnam, bribing the police is.
That's like, you can't do anything without bribing someone. Like you can't go to the toilet without bribing someone to get in the front of the queue or something like that. Like. So like it kind of, but that whole kind of culture, like it's a very, very different culture. And so maybe this is like we're talking about like state controlled and all this kind of stuff. Maybe that's the reason why, because they're thinking, oh, well, we don't really want people doing music, but if there's like billions of pounds to be made, let's just let's get some kids in, like that we can sort of like make it happen, and then we're kind of in the game.
The one point I'd like to sort of make, and maybe this is bringing it back to the DJing thing, is on the notes it says, would we DJ these songs in clubs? And earlier I said, I've played BTS before, but it's only because it garnered like commercial traction. Like, I'm more likely to play,
and it had Halsey on it.
Yeah. I'm more likely to play a Latin song that hasn't got as much commercial traction because I like it, like a J Balvin song, or
but is that where we're at in the UK with music?
I think when it comes, I think Latin music is starting to break through more than it ever has, and I think if you imagine where Latin music was maybe 5-10 years ago, that's how we are with Asian music.
Do you think it is? So I know I definitely am guilty of this. So everybody knows Punjabi MC, Beware of the Boys, classic tune. Wasn't actually a very big tune when it came out. So it actually came out in like 99. It was like a okay tune. Like everyone was like, oh yes, this is a nice song. And then Westwood played it in like 2003 and it became the machine that it is now. And then Jay-Z came on it and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people just like that song because it's a Punjabi song. Like it's not and like you can understand the lyrics. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a non-white thing. Like it's not just a standard English song. Like it's like, this is like our song. Do you think it's kind of the same with a lot of, and I'll bring Latin tunes to like Latin and like the K-pop stuff, where a lot of people already like it simply because it's in their own language rather than just in English.
You talk about in England.
In England, so like, obviously they're like, again. I mean, I think it applies slightly over to in like China and those kind of places anyway. Because I think if you say to a lot of people, well, would you want to hear like, I don't know, like BTS, or do you want to hear, I don't know, like Dua Lipa? I think a lot of them would pick BTS now because they're speaking the language. It's almost like, it's a bit like, you know, when you're like in an inside joke, like you're already in with it, so you kind of don't have to break that barrier down.
I think one of the things maybe to mention is a lot of countries, bar us, you know, speak two languages. They speak whatever their language may be. So they're Swedish, French, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, whatever it is, and English. As in over here, we just speak English.
We're a bit spoilt like that.
Or sometimes French. Sometimes French or German. Yeah,
but that's very rare still now. Like in Canada, you know, French is
it's a national language.
Some parts of Canada. That's their language, and English is their secondary language.
Like the signs are both languages. It's a bit like when you go Wales and those signs are all in both languages.
Yeah. As in England, we just speak English. That's it.
Because everyone else is going to learn English.
And my point to this is their scope of music in you know, like Japan and South Korea and places like that, is mostly bigger because not only do they understand Travis Scott and Drake, they have homegrown talent that they listen to that we can't understand. Which ain't a bad thing.
So the question is, leading me on nicely to, you know, is it going to become more prominent in our kind of music world, the UK music scene, the American scene, these, because I know obviously I don't like to speak on these things just by personal experience, but I can tell you for a fact that some of my friends are actually listening to
same.
I'm not even joking. Like it's becoming and I never had that 3 or 4 years ago, just in my immediate circles, but just in the bigger picture, do we think it's going to become more, are they going to get big fan bases in cities around our
I think
country?
there's 2 or 3 examples that we can take from this, kind of, not to sort of take a trajectory of one and use it on this, because it's like the last sort of language or area to the party kind of thing. Like the K-pop music. So like I said, we have the whole Punjabi thing. There was a big section of tunes that came out that charted from like Rishi Rich and like those kind of guys. They all charted. Like they all like Jay Sean was from that camp, Rishi Rich project. He like forged a whole career off it. He did quite well. That's not so prominent now, but different times and whatnot. The other 2 is French hip hop is getting quite big now.
Niska and
it all started from that. I mean, for me anyway, from Alors and Dance, when Kanye West jumped on that. the Stromae tune. I was doing a club night once, and this guy came up to me at like 11 o'clock, and it was a uni night, and I knew he was French, and he was like, you have to play that tune. And I played it, and it kind of popped. So I was like, oh, it was in my set for a while. So that's another example. French hip hop is getting big. Loads of people listen to that song, like Maitre Gims and like those kind of people. That's becoming a thing now. French, I think, is a little bit of a different one again, because so many people speak it in the world. Like pretty much half of Africa does, and then like Afrobeats is becoming big, so it's like almost a marrying of the two. And the third one is Latin music is again, and the other big language is Spanish music. Is Spanish, and because America has such a big Latin population, Spanish music there is massive. Spanish music is it's like broken its barrier from not just being like reggaeton and mumbaton, like it's now their actual just pop music.
So are you saying
I think the cultural barriers broken down?
Yeah, but are you also saying that because of the potential language barrier with, say, the UK and the US, when we're looking at languages like Korean or Chinese or Mandarin, do you think there could be a problem there?
No problem whatsoever, because I bop to like mi gente, and he's got English in there as well, but I still have no idea what they're saying. The big one is Despacito. Obviously, was like there's two songs that broke the language barrier that officially changed the game. One is Despacito, because everyone's like, oh yeah, Justin Bieber jumped on it and it went big. No, it was number one in 18 countries before Justin Bieber went on the song, because the whole of South America and Spain had it as number one. Like, he was already a big artist. It's just Justin Bieber made it a commercial song, like for English speaking people. The second song was, which you have written down, so I'm stealing your point here, Gangnam Style. First song ever to get 1 billion views, and literally I don't know a single word that he says apart from Open Gangnam Style, and that's it.
Also, many years ago, Daddy Yankee. Gasoline.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, people forget it and think it's an English song because they're so used to hearing it. But
I don't think I can do a night
anyone
and
knows
not
the
play
words. There you go. I do think the language barrier is an issue, but I think it's less of an issue this day and age because people are more, one, open.
Yeah.
Two, willing to listen to new things, and three, just in general, like back. Like,
I mean, in fairness, we listen to mumble rap and we don't know what they say, and they speak English.
Well, yeah. So well said.
It's not about what you say.
20, 30
if you sound
years
cool,
ago,
it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I can even understand. I was about to say I don't think I can even understand American now.
I mean, you were cussing Heady One about an hour ago, so like it's fine. Like, as in, like you saying you couldn't understand.
I was saying,
you know what I mean?
I couldn't keep up with it. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I couldn't keep up with it.
That's what I'm saying. Quickly.
At least he opens his mouth. Sometimes some American like
insert
American
that classic
like,
Snoop Dogg video. In here.
Yeah, literally the Snoop Dogg video. I'm thinking back to that. Yeah. Sorry,
Wade, before we absolutely cut your point there completely, do you want to carry on, mate?
Sorry, Wade, go.
Oh, I've got to send a text.
Oh, lovely.
Don't be like that. Come on.
Go on.
My point was, like 20, 30 years ago, I don't think... I'm talking about Britain, I'm not talking about America. We were definitely more of a racist country and less open to...
Yeah.
It was. And less open to...
We can have that race chat. We're brown enough.
We were less open to... music that we didn't know what they were saying. Like, look, if you go 50, 60 years ago, not being funny, the only people that were sort of breaking through, well, not that long ago, was like people like Gloria Estefan. Like, you know, it wasn't a
I think there's been enough
to have a Latin
I think especially with
the
Latin music for me definitely has broken down the barrier because there has been 4 or 5 really big artists, even over time. Like another artist that gets kind of forgotten a lot is Joel Santana. Massive artist. Massive. So obviously Maria is like the one that everyone remembers. Which was...
You mean Santana, not Joel
that one,
Santana. Sorry. Joel Santana's the rapper. Santana
That's the one
is
I meant. That's the one I
player.
meant. Yeah. We'll switch, we'll scroll past that. Yeah. What's it called? But and then Daddy Yankee. J Balvin apparently is like one of the most profitable artists in the world right now.
I think he's going to be one of the most profitable.
He's like top 10 at the moment,
ridiculous.
like consistently. mainly because he's on a lot of songs, but he does really big. You see Cardi B.
And his songs are
Cardi
wicked.
B
Can't even lie.
had,
His songs are wicked.
Oh, what was that tune Cardi B had? Like It Like That. No, that was Latin style.
With Bad
The
Bunny.
other one that was really big, that was kind of sort of that style was Boom Boom Dum Dum. Do you remember that? That was a big tune, and that was out for like 4 years, and they were just shopping it and shopping it and shopping it. Like then they did like the remix with like Stefflon Don and Future and like all those guys, and that song went from like a okay song, and then they put those on, and they put so much money into that song, and it went huge.
Well, look at what's the track? Danza Kuduro.
Again, like those songs, it's always a half and half because it was like they were in a film, but I'd play it.
Oh, I was playing it well before the film, like that. When I used to do like a midweek night years ago at a place, we had like quite a lot of Spanish people in that used to work at the hospital not far, and they're the ones that told me about some of these songs, and I used to play them. But then the following night was a student night that I did, and I'd play Danza Kuduro, and it would go off, and this was before it was in the film. This was before the film even come out. Danza Kuduro's been around for a long time.
The big one for me.
You hear that everywhere.
Yeah.
You go to like
it's not one of those worldwide songs, isn't it?
And I was in some party in Poland, and I remember it came on, and everyone went mental, like just like they do in the UK. That song is just like a global.
I just think, especially in England or the UK, I just think now people are more open, like to listen to. I mean, and with everything, they're more open to try new foods. They're more open to new music, new film, new everything. Like people aren't as sort of set in their ways, and obviously the internet and streaming and
the internet's opened it wide open.
I remember I went to Cardiff a couple of years ago for one of my friends' 21st, and we went to this club. In fact, we went to a Revs to Cuba, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it was like Friday night." They're like, "Oh yeah, it's Latin night," and we're like, "Okay, cool." Thinking, they'll play Mejente, and then we'll have a shot, and then we'll carry on like our lives, and they'll play some like Beyonce and Jay-Z and whatnot. Absolutely not the case. The DJ was playing Latin only music, like a couple of remixes and stuff, but Latin only, and we felt a little bit left out because we didn't know any of the tunes, but they were all vibes, and everybody else there was like, oh, you know, like when you get that banger, and I was like, oh my god, like literally every tune, people are like, oh, this is sick. So
I love Latin music. It's just so much energy.
I think that it is that big thing where like I don't want to be like all this whole melting pot and all that bollocks. But it kind of just is. I think people just aren't really that fussed. Like the world is so connected now, like that I don't think people particularly care like what language the song's in, as long as it sounds good.
As long as it's a bop. I know it's not Southeast Asian or anything, but one that springs to mind is Jaja Nakamura. Yeah. Like literally that track, I've listened to that.
I don't know what they say in that song, but it's a really nice beat and it's in French and it sounds cool. So I play it every week without fail.
Sorry, Wade, you were going to say something, go on.
I think as well, people like travelling, that really makes a difference. I don't mean travelling as in backpacking across the world. I mean like people go to the Spanish islands, they go to Ibiza, they go to Mallorca, Ayia Napa.
And they're interested. People are naturally curious and interested.
Yeah, and places like Las Vegas as well, they draw in so many people from all over the world. You're bound to hear a K-pop record, you're bound to hear a Latin record, you're bound to hear French record, because it's got so many people. They want to keep everyone happy. So then us going there, we go, oh, what's this French song? You Shazam it, boom, it's whatever it is. What's this Latin song? And then you bring it back, and then it's sort of, it's not just the internet connecting everything, it's people connecting.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's really weird that you mentioned that. I was DJing a wedding a couple of years ago, and they were like, oh, can you play this tune? It was like the Song of the Stag, and they went to like Bucharest or somewhere, like your standard staggy kind of place, one of those. And like he sent me the tune, and it was a Willie William tune, and I was like, I've not heard this. Yep. And then I played it, and I was like, oh my god, what an amazing song this is! Like, how have I not even heard of this guy? Another really big tune, which is like, in fact, it's an Armenian tune. Have you guys heard that song, Migena? It sounds a bit like in the club 50 Cent. I'll send it on the group later.
Send it.
Massive.
Yeah. No,
We'll put
It,
it in the
it
playlist as
became
well.
a
We'll put it in
massive
the playlist
tune
as
in
well.
like Dubai and like just general like Europe because
Who's it by?
it's by let me find it. I think it was a Maitre Gim song. Yeah, it is.
Anyone listening, we'll put
I'll put this into the place as well.
so you can hear
Like
this-
that
this-
tune was massive. Well, still is, but it was like a stag tune. But you would have only have heard it going abroad. But now, like sometimes I'll just listen to the guy's music because he's got cool tunes. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, just one thing I want to finish on. One last question, and that is, when we're back DJing, and you know, in say a year's time, will you look for and do you think you're going to play more music from K-pop and these artists? And just as an extension to that question, do you think if someone like Drake, you know how much Drake collaborates with people, you know, it's not a million miles away, like the idea of him.
I mean, he dropped
collaborating
an
with a
Arabic
K-pop
bar,
artist
so
or someone from China, or you know, someone from China, Southeast Asia. You know, if he collaborates with an artist, is it going to become more commonplace like we've seen Latin music has in the UK clubs? So, Pav, what do you think?
I think you're kind of spot on. I think it's almost just sort of crying out for somebody to jump on it. Obviously, Halsey's done like a K-pop song. It's just waiting for one of these megastars to jump on the songs. Again, I can only take kind of example from like Bollywood music and stuff. There's loads of Bollywood songs that are produced by Marshmello, and Marshmello in India is like God now because he's been on like 2 or 3 tunes, because it's like that they make dancey kind of tunes anyway, like in Bollywood, but like even like that housey sort of style. Like Marshmello's had one, Avicii had one. There's been a couple of producers that have jumped. Obviously there was the classic one that Akon had 6 or 8 years ago now, Chamak Chalo with Shah Rukh Khan. That was a massive song. That one was actually really interesting because Akon sang the whole thing in Hindi, like the whole tune, and a little bit of English, but like 90%. And I just think it's just going to take someone like Akon. They just were like to Akon and do the song, and he was kind of like, yeah, like Christina Aguilera's done a Bollywood song. It's just waiting for that the K-pop thing to just evolve. It's just going to take one person to sort of take a stab in the dark and say, oh yeah, I'll do that. And that's it. I think it's
definitely.
100%. I think we're waiting for it basically.
Yeah. Wait, what do you think? Do you agree, or do you think that's true?
I agree to like a certain point. I think I don't know if someone's going to jump on a K-pop track like Drake, because K-pop is pop.
Yeah.
It's like Britney Spears pop music, bubblegum, like bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
But do I think he will? Because you got to remember as well, like we're talking about K-pop quite a lot. There is like a huge hip hop scene in Asia, in Japan, in Korea, in China. Do I think Drake will collaborate with them? The only way I think Drake will collaborate with them, because he's most probably big over there anyway, is if he's trying to break into the market, because that seems to be majority of the time when the big Western stars want to get into these markets. Not so much with Indian or Hindi or stuff like that, like what you said with Marshmello. They sort of do it because they go, oh, it's another market.
Yeah.
But trying to break into China,
I think it's
Japan,
a lot harder.
South Korea, it's a lot harder, because you can go over there, big star, and people go, don't like you, like, and that's it, swept to the side. You have, it's like,
I think it's a lot more
planned.
political there. Like
I was going to say that.
It's a lot more political. It's
Yeah,
a lot
I
more
agree.
like kind of, you've got to be like vetted and all this kind of stuff, and you
Yeah.
can't say too much or too little, and
No, because you got to remember, you can't swear in a lot of their tracks.
yeah.
They don't swear. I looked at the lyrics to
I think
songs, and they don't
if someone should do it, it should be our girl Jessie J, because she went on that Chinese singing competition, didn't she? Did you guys watch that?
Yeah,
And she was really good at it. She's the first ever foreigner they've ever let on there. And she won because she sang really, really well, which is testament to her as well. But
Nice.
like, if that can happen, it can only be a matter of time, because she managed to do pretty well. She's not the most clean cut artist, I would say. And if she managed that, I don't think there's many artists that can't. There's always that little bit of, it's a bit like if you're a comedian or something, and you know that if you go to like, I don't know, like Saudi Arabia or something, there's certain jokes that you know you just can't make. you always have to kind of censor yourself a little bit here and there. And I know that's rich coming from me. But there's always, you've got to play, it's a DJ thing, you've got to play to your audience. And so I think if you want to have another 1.5 billion people listening and streaming to your music, you might have to cut an F word here and there.
Yeah, I think it's very dependent on the artist. I think it would be an artist that maybe wants to restart their career or give their career a bit of a kick. I don't think it'd be a Drake or a Kanye or.
Do you think it should be like a Dylan Francis or a DJ Snake? I feel like that would work.
Yeah, maybe not Dylan Francis,
DJ
maybe
Snake,
DJ
definitely.
Snake.
DJ Snake.
And it will be it'd be a singer most probably, like a pop.
Okay, let's play a little weird game here. Just before you go inside, Chris.
Okay.
Who's your ideal artist? And obviously we've scrapped Drake, but he was just sort of like insert.
What to collaborate
if you want to hear one artist, singer, let's go singer and producer, or just singer, whichever one you can think of that you would want to hear on a K-pop or like Chinese orientally kind of song. Which one would you want to hear? Yeah,
I can start.
Go on, mate, because no one else can think of one.
No. Well, there's two people that I've heard on Japanese hip hop before. One produced it, or they've both produced and rapped or sung on them. One is Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
He's got a huge connection to Japan anyway. Pharrell out there is like a god, by the way.
That's like not surprising when you look at like his sort of like dress sense and style. It kind of fits with that sort of culture, doesn't it?
Well, he's best friends with Nigo, obviously, and who started Bathing Ape. And his Billionaire Boys Club line is in conjunction with me. There's so many ties. And two is Kanye West, who again is huge in Japan. Even to this point is huge in Japan.
Yeah.
They both sound great on Asian records, and they both produced Asian records.
Chris, who do you think, mate?
They're my two.
Well, I mean, I've just seen in my notes like one artist that I actually listen to that's from South Korea, although she lived in Berlin for a lot of her life, is Peggy Goo.
Yeah.
And obviously I'd like to see her collaborate with some like UK electronic producers. For me, that would just be exciting, and that's very much realistic. But in terms of like the pop scene, do you know, honestly, I think it would just be crazy to see someone like Drake collaborate.
It would be weird,
someone from like Korea. Like, I just want to see it. Just that I don't know how that would turn out, but it'd just be very interesting to see. So yeah, I guess just for like my own.
While you guys are saying this,
to see what happens. If Drake
I think I found maybe the perfect artist for it. Not the elephant in the room. I think one of us maybe should have come up with this first. I think Pharrell's probably the other not safe option, but the other like big one that you think, yeah, that will work because they're already in that sphere. Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas is the one. Black Eyed Peas are absolutely massive. I
don't know how big they are in China or South.
Absolutely massive in like that area of the world, particularly Japan, because they made that song. Remember the song "Meet Me Halfway" that was filmed in Tokyo just before they had the earthquake, and they donated a lot of money. They're like royalty there.
Okay.
I feel like their sound, but it would have to be like a little bit old school. It needs to be like Pump It, Black Eyed Peas. Like that kind of
when they had Fergie.
Yeah, now obviously, she's fucked off, but like that sort of thing, I think they could be the guys that did it.
Yeah. Well, Wade, sorry, did you want anything else before we wrap it up?
No.
All
I'm good.
Right. Thanks very much for listening to the No Drinks podcast with Wade Kadir, Pamasaki, and myself, Chris Watson. All the tracks you've heard us talk about in this episode you can find in our playlist on Spotify, YouTube, and we do have Apple Music, don't we? And Apple Music. Is that right?
The playlist, you can't get a playlist
Music
on Apple Music like that. It's a bit sad. But YouTube and Spotify, they're there.
But YouTube and Spotify, and
listen to the ting.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you next week.